going here for just a few minutes. Episode number 371, getting started. Episode number 371, getting started. There we go. Welcome, visitor. Welcome, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. All right. Welcome. Welcome in, all gamblers. Welcome. Gambling is a big fat lie. Calling all gamblers tonight. All right, we're going to get started here. Welcome, gamblers, to our Soldiers of Self-Mastery community, your Solution podcast. Might need to turn this down a little bit here. Get in and buckle up. Please turn down your distractions and remember to grab a pen, because you're not a hen, but you're a friend, and you may need a P.O.I, a point of interest, to follow up on. Yours. We've got Jim all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Santos here, Stockton, California. Looking out for your comments, looking out for your questions, looking out for your questions, looking out for your comments. And by the way, we'd love to have you on camera. Jim, go ahead and address our community. Go ahead there.
Yeah, we were talking backstage in regards to getting people's stories. It'd be nice to go and have people come on and listen to their stories. It benefits. I would think it gives multiple benefits. I think it will benefit the individual to go ahead and share the story, to go ahead and overcome that kind of fear of holding back in the comfort zone. Sometimes it's a great release to go ahead and share the story. And it's almost like a breakthrough, I would think, if you can go and share your story. And it also benefits other people. Identification is the name of the game. A lot of people, feel good that, they're not the only ones struggling with these kinds of problems. And if we can go ahead and share these things,
Yeah.
it will benefit. And I think it can go ahead and start people's confidence. I think that's something that we're all lacking. We could always benefit from a little bit more confidence by kind of breaking through, the comfort zone of being quiet. We can be ashamed. There's the things that make me feel ashamed about some of the things that happened to myself. Like myself, like today, I was keeping score, Santos. I was looking at.
Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead. I'm going to let you share here in a minute. Let me go ahead and just want to let folks know real quick. This is episode number 371. Okay. And we're going to take on the subject of what to do when it's difficult. What should you do when it's difficult? So we've got some ideas. We've got a proverb, and then we've got a call to action. So go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. So for me, I was keeping score of my failures today. Just stupid things, but my mind was really irritated. It's like I take a risk to take a street, and the train comes, and I know the train comes. Here I have to make a U-turn. It's like, Jim, you failed right there. You failed. You took a risk and you failed. Then I read a sign saying the street was closed, right? It's like, oh, I'm not going to take this street because it's closed. I'm going to take a detour, and then I took the detour and I saw the street wasn't closed. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm failing all over the place. I even when I'm using my logic and reasoning, I fail. I was just like, all this doubt is like coming to my mind, this anger, this irritation. It's like, shoot, I can't even trust myself. I can't even depend upon myself, even using logic and reasoning. you know. So
Sometimes,
it's
yeah,
like
sometimes.
that kind of stuff really, gets me down. My mind is in this deficit mindset, always looking at the
Mhm.
negative, always looking at you know, the bad stuff.
Let me
Uh,
let me say let me say real quick before you go on. Two negatives,
mhm.
right? We should avoid the negatives. We should avoid the negatives of others when it becomes an interruption in our own lives. We should avoid the negativity of others when it becomes an interruption, but we should not neglect the negativity that we see in our own life.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, and I was doing some thinking about it, really. And I was wondering, it's like,
So,
I take a risk. I take a risk, and I fail. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Should I just stay on the straight and narrow and always be worried about uh, not taking any risks? I should always do a certain things a certain way. And I'm thinking, well, I
mhm.
guess I can go ahead and go down that path. But then I feel that I'm a coward. It's like, oh, you don't want to take any risks. You're afraid that you're going to go and fail. You
Mhm.
know, all this negative self, these thoughts come into my mind, and
Yeah.
it bugs me. It bugs me, and it kind of brings me down. And I'm sure that a lot of people who are addicts, gamblers, there's a lot of negative self-talk that's going on because we feel that there's nothing's going right in our life. Nothing's going right. Whatever I do, whatever I touch, it doesn't work. It doesn't
And
work.
and that's exactly what we're going to discuss here on this podcast tonight. Exactly what Jim is speaking about. We're going to dial in a little bit. We've got 3 points here that I want to make. I'm going to share. I'm going to look for your question, by the way. If you're in the audience there by way of Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, if you have a question, listen, this is Soldiers of Self Mastery community. You can come on the camera and join the fight. You can come on the camera and join the fight with us. Come into this cause, come into this mission. That's going to help you. That's going to help me. That's going to help Jim. That's going to help others. Jim said it earlier, right? It makes us more. It gives you more confidence. So I'm inviting those of you, and I'm going to do my best to share. At least invite those of you that can come on camera to come on the broadcast. It's only 45 minutes. Hey, you might have a really good idea. You might have a really good business opportunity that you can share. You might have a good story. And again, it's not about really focusing on the negatives per se, but it is about focusing on the negatives. You cannot get ahead if you don't focus on the negative. So one of the things that I want to say is, by the way, should you avoid the negative, right? And I said that earlier. Should you avoid the negative? So please, if you're here and you want to come on, face that chicken inside yourself, if you will. Honestly, face the chicken inside yourself because it's going to be a good thing when you come on camera, share a little bit, release some energy, and then you go on your way. And it's just going to be it's going to give you more confidence. Um, so I'm looking for questions. I see Mark, Sugar Bear. Thank you for sharing that, keeping the negative. Laura, welcome. And there's a few others. Wow, the numbers are climbing. That's good. But I don't know who you are. I'd love to meet you. Well, I don't know about love, but I would enjoy meeting you. I guess I don't think you'd love meeting me. Or then again, maybe so. But we can enjoy, right? Just like I enjoy Jim's presence, I'm sure he enjoys mine, and I enjoy your race. Welcome, legacy mindset. So, Jim, one of the first things that I want, oh, yeah, I forgot here. Let me get this. The Psalm. Got to get the Psalm 116 in there, man. Let me see. 116 and 1, verse 1 and 2. I love the Lord because, by the way, this is the King James Bible. I read out of the King James Bible, authorized King James. This one might be the authorized. No, this one's the King James version. Close. Psalm 116. I love the Lord because he has heard my voice and my supplications. That's a beautiful thing when somebody hears you. You ever feel like you're not being heard? You ever feel like that? Like you're not being heard? Have you ever been in the presence of somebody right in their face and you feel like you're not being heard? Oh man, that's humiliating. It really is. And causes people to get into bad fights and arguments. Anyhow, because he hath inclined his ear unto me, there upon him as long as I live. I will call upon the Lord as long as I live. All right. Episode number 371. By the way, make sure you turn down your distractions. We can't have any distractions, Jim. And I'm looking forward to that box, by the way. That's going to be interesting. Hopefully I'll get it before next Sunday. So let's talk about a few things that you should. What should you do when it's difficult? And we're gonna take this little bit of a topic on right here. Do not isolate. Okay, what should you do when it's difficult? One of the things that you should not do is you should not isolate. Don't become a recluse. Why? When things are difficult for you, why not isolate? Why not become a recluse? Lock yourself away. Just move away from the people so not too many people see you. Why? Jim.
Yeah, most people go out and go recluse because it's pretty shameful to go ahead and, frankly, being in the loser situation, right? You're
When it's
not doing
difficult. When it's difficult. Well, it depends on the difficulty too, right? Because a difficulty could be a big loss at the gambling casino. A difficulty could be you drank 2 beers and you had an accident in a car, or you got into an argument with a family member. You had difficulty could be any one of those. You didn't make your quota for the month. You had a quota for rent, for your expenses, your credit cards, et cetera, and you didn't make that quota. Should you isolate? Go ahead, Jim.
well, I mean, that's the comfortable thing to do, just hide. I mean, what are the benefits? Well, I guess you don't have to go ahead and, well, I guess, it's like if you go, I mean, I guess it just depends upon the person, if you have a lot of pride, you don't want to go and share all your problems, especially if you're a guy, I guess. You should be able to take care of yourself. You're a man, you know? It's like, and here you are screwing up everything in your life. Do you really want to go ahead and share your screw ups? Oh no, I don't
Well,
think.
why not isolate though? Because most people retreat, right? When your life is difficult, the easiest thing, the closest thing is to become a recluse.
Mhm.
Isolate.
Yeah.
Now, why I say why not? Why not? Well, when you isolate yourself, you're cutting yourself off already. You're going through a difficulty, right? And you isolate. So you may be cutting yourself off from the present help that could be right in front of you, right near you, right in front of you, or on the side. Isolate, it's like I thought about a spider. Those spiders, they go into the dark and they hide, and then they come out when they're looking for food or whatever, the little recluse spiders. But if you get one of those spiders on you, I know somebody that got bit, almost lost the arm. I don't know how that happened, but it was a recluse. So I'm not saying that you're going to become a recluse like a spider and you're going to bite somebody. Yet when you isolate, it makes the situation worse that you're in. You cut yourself off from resources. You begin to shut down the energy that you have that's already going on in your life. You begin to shut down that energy. You separate yourself. In fact, you put yourself in a place where you can easily begin to start falling into a great depression.
And Santos, sometimes people, have people around them, but they're not very good as far as resources. And I think that
Mhm.
a lot of us would know, we don't associate ourselves with these people because we know that they're not going to help us. I mean, they are either going to go ahead and blame us, maybe dismiss us.
Well, what
We
you're
don't
getting
know
you're getting
resources.
ahead of me, Jim. You must
Resources.
have read my notes. But that's kind of topic number 2. And we're going to deal with that right there. Exactly what you just said. We're going to talk about that. But let's talk about isolation, though. Let's talk a little bit more. Why not isolate? What could be the worst thing that happens to you because you've isolated? You're having a difficult time. You're going through a difficult time. Somebody threw a difficult time on you. They just threw it on you, with chains, cables, what have you. Maybe you were on the road and you go home or whatever happens and you're is it seething? You're boiling. And now you're isolated. What happens to the gambler when he got beat up at the casino, right? By the way, gambling's a big fat lie. The gambler got beat up at the casino really bad. That was me. What did I do? The worst thing you can do is isolate. What's another major reason, Jim? You think anybody else? Anybody in the comment section, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, anybody? Why not isolate? Share your ideas. Share your thoughts. I want to hear your voices. Come on, get into this. Either you're a part of this community or maybe you're not. I don't know, but I would enjoy hearing what it is that you have to say or an answer. Why not isolate when it's difficult? Why not?
Maybe it's a good idea to isolate just to go and be alone and away from distractions.
Hey,
Maybe we
that's a
gotta go ahead
positive.
and spend some time alone and just, figure out what the heck happened. What happened here? How
Okay.
did I get to this point? How did I get to this point?
Okay.
But you got to go and be careful because the negative mindset, the deficit mindset, can go and take you down a very, very negative path. You can go and beat yourself quite a bit up. I mean, so when you talk about, what should we do when it's difficult? I think we have to prepare our mind for the devil in our mind that's going to go ahead and try to bring us down. Like for me today, I, you know, I was leaning toward the negative, and
But is that because you're isolating yourself? Is that why it's happening? Because you're
I might
isolating
have been
yourself?
isolating myself. I was isolating my mind or thinking, you know,
Now you
in
just
that
said that could be a positive thing though too, right? Could be.
I was
Could be.
only focusing on the negative, and I
Mm.
guess I felt comfortable being in the negative. Maybe maybe the negative is what I know, you know, and the positive is something that maybe I'm not familiar with,
Mhm.
maybe I'm not used to, maybe I don't want to dwell in the positive because I'm going to set myself up for disappointment. So I isolate myself in the negative thinking zone,
Mhm.
and I pile my thoughts on the negative. I look for the negative. I just watch. I'm just keeping track. Okay, what's going to happen next? Oh, you screwed up again. There you
But
go.
now let me ask you this, Jim. Let me ask you this. Okay, so because we're talking about isolation, so you mentioned isolation of the mind, but you brought this point up before we uh, the point of speaking. Okay, number 2. Here's my point number 2. Why you should not or what you should do. What should you do when it's difficult? Right. You need number 2. Talk to someone. And you said be careful who you talk to. You said it in different words, but that's exactly what you said when I said that you were getting ahead of the subject a little bit. So now, why talk to someone when you're going through difficulties? And by the way, make sure that you're talking to the right person, because most people will give you opinions versus advice. And what you need is advice, not opinion. So why? Why talk to someone?
Yeah, and I think a lot of us.
Uh-oh, we lost you, Jim. How did I lose you? Can't unmute you. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to have to, he muted your mic. Check your mic. I can't hear you. Are you good? Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. Okay, so we went off. Oh, all right, he'll come back on. Can you guys hear me? I don't think you guys hear me. Anyhow, number 2, talk to someone when you're going through difficulties. And the reason why you want to talk to someone is because that's a release, right? Like isolation. If you just isolate yourself, that's going to make your situation worse unless you isolate yourself to do something positive. But number 2, I can hear you now. You good? Number 2 is you need to talk to someone. There's many, many reasons for that, but you need to talk to the right person. Can you imagine getting opinions while you're talking to somebody and they're giving you opinions while you're going through difficulty? May it be a counselor, may it be a coach, may it be a book, may it be a video. What's that going to do for you? You'd rather not talk to someone. In fact, that's probably one of the things that hurts most people, because they've reached out to the wrong person. They thought there was the right person, and what happened? They made the situation even worse. It is critical, folks. If you're a problem gambler, you're a person that's looking for direction, for purpose, you're trying to get ahead in life, difficult. Every day is going to, and that's the topic, by the way, topic number 371. I don't see anybody posting, so I'm glad that you guys are listening. I don't know. Maybe people have come and left, but you guys get involved with us. Share. Other people need to see what you're doing. Other people, not just me, you guys in the comments. Share your thoughts. Share your ideas. You have ideas. You have thoughts. Don't isolate. Jim was talking about that earlier. You can isolate your mind. Share. 45 minutes, Soldiers of Self-Mastery community here. We share, we give input. So it's important to talk to someone because it's a release. It is a release. It's like a therapy. And when you talk to people, you can ask questions. And what happens when you ask questions? Well, you either ask dumb questions or you're asking good questions. You're not going to ask good questions right away. Sometimes you got to ask a dumb question. That's how we learn. And when you talk to somebody, really what you're doing is you're asking questions. You don't want to talk to somebody, your counselor. There's questions. You're asking questions. You're seeking direction. You're seeking guidance. Man, I'm having a difficult time. I'm going through a difficulty. Right? I don't want to avoid this negative. I've run from negatives most of my life. I don't want to run from this negative anymore. I don't want to isolate. Point number 2, talk to someone. Now, I've got a third point here. I'm going to share that in a little bit here in a few minutes. And then we've got a call to action. That's it, folks. 45 minutes. I was thinking the other day about my gambling, how far I've come away from gambling. And it's such a wonderful life today. I don't know what happened to Jim. I hope he's okay. Such a wonderful life today. Gambling is a big, fat lie, a big, fat one. It's getting fatter every year. Every year it's a 700-pounder by now. By the way, I saw a person that was about 700 pounds. I thought, my God, can a human be that heavy? Well, it happens to be so. So, anyways, I see the comments. I'm going to share a few of your comments. And I guess I'm not doing a good enough job here. See, I failed too. I failed, but I got to learn from my failures. See, I'm asking a question and I get either that or I just suck, man. I got to face the facts, right? Either I suck. Santos, you suck, man. You're asking the wrong questions. No, I'm asking the right questions. Sometimes I wonder if I'm in the right community. Anyhow, I'm going to have fun. Time's going by. Monday's coming, by the way. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Monday's coming. Got to get up again and start it all over again for the week, right? Let's see here. Nice comment here. Is anybody alive in the comments? Is there anybody alive in the comments? Anybody at all? Is there anybody in the comments at all? Anybody? Anybody at all? Jim, where you at? All right, I got another talking point, number 3. Today's topic was, what should you do when it's difficult? Number 1, do not isolate. Number 2, do talk to someone. Number 3, go out and get busy. Go out and get busy. Why go out and get busy, Santos? Why? Why go out and get busy, man? I'm going through a difficult time, man. Oh, you're going to tell me that? What kind of advice is that, man? I'm having the worst time of my life. You're going to tell me to go out and get busy? Hey, Jim.
Sorry,
on the stage there. So go out and get busy. Why? Why go out and get busy? Make an effort to get out. Get out. Get out there. Do something. Well, maybe you want to start a business. And you may be able to take all of that negative energy or the difficulty, the whatever it is that you get out of that difficult situation you're in, and you might be able to pour that right into some little business or something that you can start out from home or from some office somewhere. Or maybe you need a new job, right? You need some work, some type of work. I don't know, construction work, customer service, banking. Maybe you could work at Amazon as a delivery driver. Dog walkers. You could even sell motorbikes. Yeah. Jim's good at that. He could be a mentor in that area. So why get busy, Jim, when it's difficult? Why go out and get busy?
Yeah, I remember a cartoon a long time ago called DuckTales. And there was Scrooge McDuck. He lost his girlfriend, right? And his nephew says, "What do we do now?" He said, "We're going to get to work, because hard work clears the head. Hard work clears the head." So, I mean, you're moving, your mind is on something else that is productive. And you start building some momentum, getting to work. And it's a choice, really. I mean,
that's the remedy, Jim.
It's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice too, but it's a remedy. It's getting busy.
Yeah.
When you're going through the most difficult times in your life, when you start getting out, start thinking about other people. Honestly, sometimes it's a challenge for me to come here on Sundays too. But I'm not here for me. Well, I am here for me because I get something out of it. But I'm here to find the right person that's out there that's really struggling, that needs support. You're struggling. You're struggling out there. Maybe you have a decent job, but you're struggling and you don't know what to do. And again, this message is for you. You know, on my third point, talking point here, you know, you can join a community or create your own community. That's what I did. I worked on. It's a community of 2 or 3 people. I'd rather have a community of 2 or 3 people than 50 people that are not loyal. That's the truth. Because I'm going to be loyal, right? Why would I associate myself with disloyal people? I'm going to be loyal to the cause as much as possible. There's a lot of people that lie about gambling. They lie, and they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They know they're in trouble. They're struggling. I've seen them. They've come and gone, and some of them still come around. I see them come around the channel. They're lying to themselves. They're isolated. They don't really have a community. They don't have nobody. They don't talk. They hold it all in. They suppress it. Jim, what happens to somebody that holds it all in, man? It's all inside them, man. They hold it for months and months and maybe years. What happens to that person, that woman, that man?
Your mind, their mind transforms, unfortunately, to that kind of programming. I'm sure it's very negative. It's defeating. And like you're going around and around in circles. It's possible that you're not looking for solutions. You're just beating yourself down, like you talk about. Beating yourself.
And they hurt people. They go out and hurt others. They cause a ruckus.
It's like your life becomes associated with that negativity inside of you. It's like now your life is becoming what is inside of you, you know, and is attracting all that nonsense, you know. So yeah, keeping it inside of you. I was listening to a YouTube guy who says, I gotta just vent. I'm not going to come back to it after today, but I just need to vent. I need to go ahead and get it out of my system, you know. And he just shared the reason why he quit his job, you know. And yeah, I guess you can go and say that's healthy to go ahead and, you know, put some distance between you and the problems, so that you can go and kind of see it in front of you, you know, and you can do something about it. Sometimes when it's trapped in your mind, you know, just running around, rolling around, you know, you lose that kind of dimension of like attacking the problem. If you speak it out loud, if you write it out loud, you're putting that distance so you can kind of see what's going on. And then maybe I can go ahead and find a solution to this situation. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion. Maybe I can see it in a different perspective. But keeping it inside of you, stewing it, you know, I mean, that's dangerous. That can cause a lot of problems, you know.
It can hurt people, other people too, because people hurt people. There's people that will drive through a crowd because they're angry. They're going through difficulties in life and they don't know how to handle it. This video would be good for that person. There's other people, they go out and stab people. They go out in the crowds and they do things because of their anger and their difficulties. Somehow somebody didn't come around or they didn't reach a message that they should have heard. Hey, there's another way to handle things. We tend to avoid the negative. The negative that we need to avoid is the negatives of others, but we should not avoid the negative that we have in our own life. Investigation. So yeah, go out and get busy. Start a business, work, school, join a community, you know, feed pigs. Go on a farm and feed pigs if you need to do that. It's amazing what you can learn by feeding pigs. So basically, we've already gone through the 3 talking points here, or 3 points that I had. Jim, I'm going to give you take a few minutes and share something that you feel that's come out of this. And again, I'm looking for questions. I don't see any questions. That's fine. I understand. Again, we need to do some homework because we're not asking the right questions. But I do see some answers. Yes, I did get the answer here. Yes, thank you for that. I'm just kind of wondering why you guys aren't sharing your thoughts. I'm just kind of wondering. I'm curious why, we're talking about what to do. Maybe you got a better idea than I do, right? You may have a better idea how you handle a situation, but you're not willing to share that with me. I wonder why. I wonder why. Go ahead. And before I let Jim on, make sure if you're new here, if you're new, whoever you are, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in wanting to overcome gambling and become a better person, right? If you're interested in overcoming gambling and becoming a better person, you're not going to get filthy rich here. We are selling merch. I think this is a nice shirt. What do you think, Jim? Pretty nice shirt.
It's a nice shirt.
Like to wear a little plain t-shirts with a little emblem on it, Soldiers of Self-Mastery 2016. I think it's pretty cool. Of course, it's got something real neat on the back too to help remind you. I'll show you the back. Who knows? This might remind you of where you're going, where you've come from. So we have different colors. We have a few things that we're sharing. The red book. We just rewrote the red book for the final time. We're putting it on audio again, but it's been rewritten. The back is changed. Some of the front is changed. It's a whole new book. It's got a little bit more different information in it. Some changes, some major changes. I guess as I keep learning and growing, I can't leave the book the way it is. I got to keep trying to modify it, but I put a lot of work into it this time around. And I am going to say that there is coaching available. By the way, if you do decide to coach with me for at least a couple of sessions, you may end up getting one of these nice t-shirts, different colors. Yes, we have different sizes. So you're welcome to that. And if you don't care about that or you don't give a shit about that, so be it. That's good for me too. Anyway, I had to get that out. But please, leave a comment on the video, share, thumbs up if you care. Really, we're here to help others. We're here to help you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support gamblers worldwide. I don't benefit. I don't get a dime from this. I don't get a dime from this mission. I really don't want a dime from it. It would be good if I could live off of it, but it doesn't work that way. So we're here. I'm putting my money and my effort into this to help gamblers around the world. And if you're here and you want to support this mission, you want to be a part of this every Sunday, every Wednesday during the week, be a part of it. Join me. Join me. You're welcome to do that. Donations are accepted. Welcome to do that. Tax deductible contributions. If you want a tax deductible slip, I can give you a tax deductible slip for your contribution if you want to do that, if that's in your heart. So with that said, Jim, go ahead and share your thoughts on this, and then we're going to do a call to action, and we're gone, man. We're gone for the night. Okay.
Yeah, Race is talking about how he's having difficulty, I guess, with some worth, and he talks about things not changing for him. I saw a video about a guy who kept on making free throws, and he was teaching some basketball students. Every day he'd be shooting 500 free throws. 500 free throws, and he would learn. He would learn why he would miss. He would learn why he would miss, and he'd work on fixing those mistakes. You see, so I mean, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we have to do, Race. We have to kind of really do some self-analyzation. We have to go out and really kind of look at ourselves and figure out what's going on, what's happening. This is what's happening with my life. I'm making these mistakes. These are the things that are happening in my life. I don't like what's happening in my life. Then we have to go out and ask ourselves, why are these things happening? And then we have to go out and start working on ourselves. And that's easier said than done. I think it's easier to avoid working our mistakes and just ignore and just go about life, and tripping and stumbling and messing up and just blame the world, blame God,. Blame whatever. It's like, why me? You know, or we can go ahead and just stop and start figuring ourselves out. Um, and
One,
that takes effort. It
one
takes
of the
time.
to
It
be
takes focus.
to be here takes effort. So that what Jim just said, to hard to get my mind straight, constant feeling like I'm not worth, like I just don't, I feel lost. Let me share a few things with you. By the way, thank you for those of you. I had a few numbers today here. Pretty impressive. Um, I lived through depression. I recognized that the other day. I'm a functioning person, and I have my ups and downs. Gambling covered up a lot of bullshit. It did. And I operate, uh, I'm a I am a depressed individual. I operate with depression. And I've noticed lately over the last few years, to be honest with you, I don't feel like I even want to be here in the United States sometimes. In fact, I was thinking about Russia. Would you believe that? I've been actually interested in Russia, looking at their living, their things. Of course, there's a lot of challenges in Russia as there is in the US. I'm just sharing some points here with you. It's hard for me to get my mind straight sometimes. So you know what I have to do? I have to go to my journal. Of course, this isn't my journal, but this is just, I have to go to my journal. And then from my journal, I go to my counselors. I go to my doctors if I need to. When I say doctors, I ask questions. I talk to people and I ask questions so that I don't isolate, so that uh, so that I talk to someone. I go out and get busy. I'm taking courses. I'm talking to, I've got a coach, several coaches in my life. So I'm doing all of these things. Why am I doing these things? Because I don't like depression, full blown depression, because I know full blown depression can set somebody way back. I won't go back to gambling. I know I won't go back to gambling. That's done and over with in my life. I've defeated it. I'm proud that I've defeated it. And for me to do what I've done and to fall back into gambling, I would shut this whole thing down. I shut my YouTube channel. I get rid of the videos. You guys would never hear from me ever again. That's never my goal. So that's how my mind thinks. If I didn't have these tools available, if I didn't have this podcast available that I got to charge myself, study a little bit, I got to prepare, right? You just don't come here and show up, and you got to think about things, right? What did I go through the week? What could I learn? What could I share? Who am I speaking to? What are they thinking? What are you thinking on the other side, right? That's what are you thinking? What's going on the other side? This is a community for all of us. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Race, and hopefully this video. And by the way, I'm going to put a video up on YouTube that's going to talk about this a little bit, just a little tiny bit, another encouraging video to share with you these 3 topics so you can get deeper. That'll be on my video. It's about a 5-minute video, 6 minutes on my YouTube channel. I want to share that with you guys. Again, I'm not going to go over it. I've already shared it. City by the Bay, Barry Rob. Ray says, what age are you? Are you speaking to me? I'm going to be 58 years young. 58 years young, October 17th. Laura says, we are never satisfied. Go ahead, Jim. You got some thoughts? We've got about another couple minutes. City by the Bay, boredom and gambling. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. All right, no more questions. Laura says, I'd like to get the new. Well, if you send me an email or somehow I have an address, I'm going to get a couple of copies. I can probably send you one. By the way, the Little Red Book is also in audio, so you can listen to it in audio. It's a little bit less, but it's in audio. You can play it. I think it's pretty good. I think the audio version is pretty good, the newer one. And we also have this one, 15-minute mornings, Breakfast of Champions. We have this one in audio also. So these are tools, man. These are little simple tools. Yeah, mostly created by me. So you get my crazy ideas in there. Wow, man, this is how Santos thinks. Anyways, you guys know how I think. So I hope you got something out of this race. CD by the Bay, Laura, Sugar Beer, Kevin Hall, Kevin George, Mark, and then there was Legacy Mindset. Yes. So any questions anymore? Did I answer your question? Jim, it's like losing. What he says here? It's like losing gives you a purpose, while winning just makes you want to continue betting. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's going to get you sooner or later. I guarantee you. You're probably going to run out of money before the casino runs out. But then again, I think there's some casinos that have closed down in Las Vegas, maybe one or two. So you'll probably run out of money before then. That's the best thing to do. Yep. All right. And by the way, there is coaching available. If you need to speak to someone, I do have 45-minute sessions. They're completely affordable. You can sit with the very best and talk about the right goal. Right? Need somebody to talk to about gambling? Now, I don't want to become a dumping ground for you, because a brainstorming session is a brainstorming session to help you get ahead. Right? Get out, go forward, find your first step, achieve a goal of some kind. That's what a brainstorming session is for. Your journal is for dumping. Or maybe some priest somewhere. I guess you can dump on a priest. Okay. Barry, somebody says he's 23. Who's young? Oh, somebody's young? Who are they talking about here? I thought they were asking me for my age. Am I lost here or what? Anyways, go ahead, Jim. Last minutes, we're going to be closing the shop and going home, rejoicing, thanking, being grateful, even if you're depressed. Even if you're depressed, I say keep going forward. Go ahead, Jim. Last words.
Yeah, I used to work at a nursing home in activities. I worked with Alzheimer's residents, and I imagine when I was 19 years old, imagine I'm going to get to this point in my life, old and in a nursing home maybe. And now I was thinking, what would it be like if I got to that point and I never chose to fight? Life is a fight, and if we just stayed in the comfort zone, I think we would be very disappointed with our life if we did not even attempt to go ahead and fight for ourselves, fight for a better life, fight for improvement, fight for learning, fight for helping people. Life is tough. Yes, it's tough. It's difficult, and we get knocked down, we get embarrassed and humiliated. We have negative thoughts. However, I think it's a noble thing to go ahead and pick yourself up and just keep fighting. There's something to taking on the struggle. So what's there to lose, really? Chances are you're going to go and get better.
Yeah, what do you got to lose? Mm-hmm.
So I just encourage people. If you feel bad, if you confront a difficult situation, you just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and fight through this. I'm going to fight through this. I feel awful, but yet, you know what, I'm going to go and get through it. I'm going to get through it. Yes, I lost a lot of money. Yes, I failed. I didn't reach my goal. I'm going to go and keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting this thing. I'm going to keep fighting this thing. And I'll beat it. I'll beat it. That's the kind of self-talk we need, instead of all this negative stuff. So when you talk about What should we do when things get difficult? We need to prepare our mind. We got to prepare our mind. What's going to be entering our mind when things get difficult? How to go ahead and deal with those thoughts and those emotions. You know, I think if we can go ahead and be better prepared for that, we'll be able to go ahead and fight and win. You know, fight and win that difficult situation. We'll be able to overcome.
Yeah, exactly. We will be able to overcome. Overcome. So my call to action, once again, what should you do when it's difficult? Number one, do not isolate. Do not isolate. Number two, talk to someone. Make sure that's the right person. Number three, go out and get busy. Get busy. Do something. Remember that guy says, "Get in my belly." Wasn't that movie? I don't know where that came from. Anyways,
Austin
get busy.
Powers, fat bastard. Austin Powers, fat
Get
bastard.
in my belly. Get busy. Get busy.
Yeah.
So once again, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Our little helicopter has landed. It's on the helipad. We're safe. We're going to be back here, Lord willing, on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. Steve may be coming back. I know he's been busy with other projects. So we'd love to have you on camera. I know maybe you eat too much chicken. What happens when you eat too much chicken? Love to have you come on camera. I would enjoy. Let me get rid of that word. I would enjoy having you on camera. We would. The Soldiers of Self-Mastery Communion, S.O.S.M.C, would enjoy having you sharing your skin, your hair, your picture on camera with us, with others, helping us improve. Nobody's getting, who knows? Maybe we can all get fat here, rich, right? Some way. Some major idea comes across one of these Sundays and we take that idea and we run with it. It's happened. It's happened. I won't say, I know at least in one case, there was one person that came into my life. She was chicken. She was chicken. I coached her just a few sessions. That's it. It wasn't even 45 minutes. A couple of meetings with this young lady. You know that her YouTube channel, and she forgot all about me. And that's fine because I see her once in a while, but she forgot all about me. And I remember her telling me, I'm chicken. She has a YouTube channel that is growing way beyond mine, way beyond. I'm talking about she's getting paid from YouTube now. Getting paid. Where's the thanks for that? But anyways, so ideas come and go, and you never know when your idea might show up here. All right. With that said, folks, if there's a question, I'll take it. If not, we've come to the end. Barry, Rob, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing. And by the way, Barry Rob says you're lost. Well, I'll tell you this much. If I don't make it into heaven, if I don't make it into the kingdom, if God didn't bring me in there, if he doesn't bring me in, because I know I can't get myself, then you're right, man. I'm lost. Lost. So, Barry, Laura, thank you for hanging out. Safe trucking. I hope the best for you guys on the freeways. I know that's not an easy task. I'm sure it gets difficulty during the city by the bay. Sugar Bear, Kevin George Hall, thank you for sharing and caring. Race, did we get race? We're in the race. And then there was, who else was here? Sugar Bear Legacy Mindset. All right, buddy. We'll see you guys next week. Jim, thank you for your support. Appreciate you, man. Hope you have a good Monday, and hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks, Santos. You have a good weekend. Or a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, there we go.